Back in Thunder Valley, I'm Paul Page with Mike Dunn. Funny cars come to the line, and we start with Tony Pedregon. Let's get you up to date on the top fuel standings with that session now complete. Corey Mack remains #1. Doug Herbert fills out the last position in the top 8. But look at there, Michael Gunderson got in, and when he did that, it booted Spencer Massey out of the field. So as a result, Massey and the Golden Greek, neither one have made it in the field. We want to take you back last night and Tony Pedregon.
Well, this is a classic two-step. Tony just basically reacted to the to what he thought was going to be the light, and then he realized it wasn't on. He got out of the throttle and just totally messed up the run. And I'm sure he was kicking himself. Tony Pedregon, one of the best drivers in the business, but he really did not want to. You don't want to give that away in those kind of conditions.
And so that puts Tony Pedregon up right now. It's a single run. Jimmy Johnson Foundation, the livery on the car. Helps disadvantaged people. Let's see what he does here. He takes it all the way down, 425, 290 miles an hour, and that gets him a 13th.
I'll tell you, that's basically a good run based on what we saw in Top Fuel. They struggled big time getting down the racetrack, and funny cars are usually even more touchy trying to get through the middle. So, I mean, obviously they backed it down only to run a 425. Low ET's a 410 elapsed time, but they did exactly what they had to do. Just get that thing down the racetrack and try to get it in the show. Nice job.
Well, you just mentioned backing it down, and they're having trouble. At least Top Fuel did reading this track. It's been pretty tricky for them thus far. There's a great example right there. And so, what about backing it down? Let's go to Dave Rieff.
No, basically that means, guys, you're reducing power, and there are a number of ways to do that, from thicker head gaskets, slowing the supercharger, diluting the nitro, retarding the ignition timing, reducing the amount of clutch engagement, and reducing fuel flow. We were hoping to get with Jim Head real quick, who was just working on how he's backing down the Western Governor's car. After all, this guy's an innovator in this class. How are you trying to back it down so your car, the Western Governor's car, goes down the racetrack right now?
Well, there's a lot of ways to do it. The way we do it on my funny car is timing manipulation. We take a lot of lead out of it. It's the place where we're worried about it. So we think we can run a 418 or a 419 if I get it right. If not, we'll see. Right.
Nice, clean run. And you know what that does, Paul? When you take the timing out of it, it basically takes away power. It's not burning as much fuel. And it also drops the engine RPM when you do that. And when you drop the engine RPM, it's a centrifugal clutch, so it also slows the clutch engagement. So it basically covers everything you need to do by just taking that timing away. Key is you take enough away, and the other thing is if you take enough of timing away, you also got to manage your fuel flow. It won't burn as much fuel, so you run the risk of dropping a cylinder. So they've got to walk that fine line.